Hello my fellow PUBG Mobile players, I hope you had a fantastic day and welcome back to the channel. I'm super excited to do this video for you all today because this is something I've been wanting to do for several months now and just haven't gotten around to doing it. If you are a player who isn't satisfied with the amount of kills you are getting, or you are someone who is continually puzzled at how the pros are getting consistent games up over 20 kills and even beyond, this is the video for you. We are going to be going in detail, explaining everything you need to know regarding how to get more kills in PUBG Mobile while still coming out on top and getting that chicken dinner. Before we begin, I would like to give a massive shout out to my friend Extreme Respawn for providing epic gameplay for the video. Here's what I'm doing right now. If you haven't heard, I'm trying to promote smaller channels right now on YouTube. If you want a chance to get a free shoutouts in the beginning of my videos, all you gotta do is subscribe to Extreme Respawn. His channel link is in the description, and read more on my Discord server, also linked in the description. That's it. But seriously, this whole thing won't work unless you guys show support to Extreme Respawn. So please check out his channel and, hey, maybe watch and comment on a few of his videos. I hope I can help grow out your channel next. Anyways, if this video helps you, hit that like button down below. I mean, it will help you, especially if you are not a pro in this game. Subscribe for more PUBG Mobile content, and let's get into this. First off, I want to instill a mindset into your brain that you should forever hold with you whenever you open up PUBG Mobile and decide to play a few matches. There are 3 words you must remember. Action equals experience. Here's the thing, PUBG Mobile is a battle royale game, okay? These games are highly competitive, much more so than a casual mobile first-person shooter or a multiplayer arcade game. There are some very, very talented PUBG Mobile players out there. If you're watching this video, you know who you are, and there's one reason as to why they got to where they are today. They hunted people down. They were hungry for kills. They wanted the most amount of action possible in any game they jumped into. That's just what you need to do. A PUBG Mobile player will not become good at the game if he or she lands in the farthest possible spot away from the flight path. You will not encounter many enemies at all if you do this. The only ones you will encounter would be bots, and you'll increase in experience ridiculously slow. A beginning player may be tempted to do this, but you can't. Right from the very beginning, you can't have the mindset that you're playing for the win, okay? You shouldn't. When you're first starting out, you need to play with the intention of getting better at the game. And what will make you better at the game? Landing in spots like school, military base, and casino on Miramar. The first major tip regarding how to get more kills in this game is kinda like a double-edged blade. It'll also get you better at the game in general. As I've said in many videos before, you need to land at popular places. Here are the most popular landing spots on the most consistent basis in both maps: School, Military Base, Pachinki, Novo, Hacienda del Patron, Casino, and Los Leones. Obviously, you should look at your flight path. You can make a judgment call based off of that. If the first major place you fly over is Milta Power, well, you might want to land there instead. You cannot land at small remote shacks and houses that are miles away from any major location. Yeah, you will probably have a more consistent chance of getting into late game, but will you get a lot of kills? Of course not. You need to be one of the first to land if you're going to a populated area. If you see someone heading for the same spot you're going towards, and it's obvious they'll land first, adjust your landing spot so you're close, but you won't instantly die when you land. Once you get on the ground, it's game time. If you're going for kills in PUBG Mobile, being cautious is a mindset you gotta throw out the window. However, you can't be stupid and make careless mistakes, okay? You need to grab the bare necessities after you land. So that means either a shotgun or an SMG, and maybe a rifle if you can quickly find one. Get a med kit or a couple bandages and a helmet and a vest, so if you get into a gunfight, you won't instantly die. You don't want to take a ton of time trying to find hundreds of bullets, grenades, attachments, and other stuff, because at the start of the game, those things aren't as important. You won't have super heavily geared enemies to go up against. Well, maybe have a level 2 police vest and a shotgun, for example, not a completely decked out M416. The trick to getting a lot of kills in early game is to kill the people that are still looting up. Not everyone will be super aggressive and fast in the looting up process. They'll take their time and do as I said earlier, find attachments and stuff like that. If you can get a gun and be on the hunt before these people are ready to do the same, you'll have a huge advantage over the enemies. You'll be on attack mode and they'll still be on defense mode. At this point, always check your minimap. If you landed at a popular area, there's likely to be gunshots all over the place, so head towards the shots or footsteps as fast as you can. Like I said earlier though, don't be stupid. If, for example, you have high ground on a roof and you can see an enemy down on ground level, you may not want to abandon that higher position because someone else could get up there and kill both of you. Height is obviously always an advantage in PUBG Mobile. If you're playing super aggressive and you're in close quarters areas like the hospital, for example, you should keep your SMGs and rifles on full auto. You're close enough to where recoil won't be an issue and you'll need auto on to take down people very fast. After you kill someone, look and see if you really need anything. If you didn't take any damage and you still have several clips of ammo left, you may not even need to loot the enemy you killed, so why bother? Why take time away from killing other potential enemies looting a player with gear you don't need? This is why after you kill someone, sometimes you shouldn't even bother looting and just immediately be on the hunt to kill the next person. Also, be smart with how you're tackling battles. You want to do everything in your power to end them fast. If someone is trying to have a peeking battle with you in a hallway and you just can't seem to finish them off, after a minute or so of failure, you may seriously just want to give up on that person to instead pursue someone else. Abandoning one hard-earned kill might be better if you are likely to get 2 fast, easy kills afterwards. Always remember to keep the defensive frame of mind though. If you're not careful, you could get shot in the back, so watch out. Eventually, you'll take control of the area you first landed, and at this point, you can't just sit there and say, hey, I'm gonna relax now. Here's the thing, there will still probably be around 60 to 70 players left in mid-game, and that's a ton of people you can still kill. You need to find them and gun them down. Now, mid-game is the time where the least amount of action will happen. In order to maximize the amount of kills you can get during this time, you really need to find a vehicle, preferably a UAZ or a dune buggy. Having a vehicle is so crucial during this time because it allows you to travel massive distances in a very short period of time. Listen and always check the minimap. Drive around and see if anyone shoots at you. If they do, find a safe spot to get out and take the enemy out. You're basically luring players out of their hiding spots with a vehicle, and it'll give you a surprisingly high number of kills. Obviously, it is quite risky as someone who has exceptional aim can just shoot you out of the car, but again, high risk equals high reward. And honestly, it's so much better to have a vehicle in mid-game anyways. I think most people can agree. If you hear a gunfight going on, evaluate the situation. You might want to wait it out and then kill the winner of the fight because they'll already be wounded from the previous enemy. Or you could even play more aggressive and try to kill both people at the same time. Obviously, this is super risky because in order to see both enemies, you'll likely have to be in a bad spot. So don't do this without a car. I'd recommend the first way because you'll survive far more often that way. In mid-game, avoid cities because most players won't be there. They will have already geared up and will be on the move in open fields and forests. Head to areas in between big locations because that's where you'll encounter the most enemies. Places like in between school and Pachinki will 100% be where the most amount of players mid-game will be. Always be very careful at this point though, because there will likely be very powerful weapons in the hands of enemies at this point. They could easily finish you off if you aren't watching your back. Another good place to target in mid-game is an airdrop. Players love what's inside airdrops, and they'll be flocking from all over to attempt to get what's inside. If you can be one of the first to get there, you can get a good vantage point from a surrounding hill, or building and just pick off helpless enemies one by one as they attempt to get what's inside. Never stay still in one spot for too long though, because you'll end up wasting the whole game and miss out on many kills. Always be moving and always be on the offensive side of things. Eventually, however, you'll inevitably end up at the end of the game. This is where kills will be more drawn out, but they'll be more frequent. You need to be extra careful here because this is where the best players are. However, this doesn't mean you can't play aggressive. You can still drive around with a vehicle and try to surprise people by rolling up on them with a full auto rifle because it's likely they won't be expecting that. Most players in endgame will have big scopes on snipers and rifles and won't be prepared for a super close gunfight. If you are, and they aren't, who will win? I think we can all tell. Basically, staying on the tips of your toes is most important in endgame. Obviously, at any point, you can choose to finally stop playing super aggressive, and that might be a good idea if you're already at 20 kills with maybe 15 people left. However, if you're really trying to do the best that you can and get your kill record, you need to be aggressive until the very end. I recommend an M416 all the way up until the end, and your second weapon is up to you. Maybe a Thompson if you want super close battles, and maybe a sniper if you're good with headshots and you want to hang back just a bit. But in the end, you're obviously playing to get that chicken dinner, so be smart about it. Realize that the players are all experienced at this point, and they're all close together, and they will not miss many shots. Maybe wait until enemies are distracted, and then get the kills. Also, a little tip, you may want to lie still prone for a short time just to see if you see any movement. The human eye detects movement better when you're still, so if you're running around, it's much harder to spot an enemy crawling through the grass. When you're more concentrated, you'll be able to spot them out more easily, and then you'll get the kills. And eventually, you'll find yourself getting the chicken dinner. And with that, I guess that just wraps things up. Guys, I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you learned something new today, as that was the main goal of this video. If you did, and you thought this video was well made, please leave a like down below. I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe for more PUBG Mobile content, and check out the playlist I'll link down below in the description. If you ever had lag issues in the game, wanted to know what the best loot spots are, or anything else, I have tons of different videos on this game to suit your needs. Check them out. But yeah, that's it. Thank you all for watching until the end, and I will see you all in the next one.